Hi, my name is Basil, and today is January 1st, 2015, and that means it is the new year. So I'm sort of deciding what to do. I'm thinking maybe I can put up a video each day or when I want. Maybe I'll also include some of my old recordings that I have lying around that I haven't put up. Kind of seems to be a trend to put everything out there, but just seeing how this goes. Basically, not really to get a following, but to get some of my opinions out there, some of my emotions and feelings, things that I've sort of have not been able to express in my life just because I'm sort of an introvert, not really good at talking about myself. So if I'm talking to the camera or talking to you, the audience, or I don't upload this or whatever, then I have a kind of a safe avenue to express myself without immediate feedback. So I have a chance to get it out. So we'll see how this goes. I read a pretty good book recently by Shakti Gawan called Discovering Intuition, and she says that everybody at some point in their lives needs to go see a therapist or a psychiatrist or some sort of counselor, somebody to work through your stuff, either privately or in a group setting. And that's something I've never done. It's something I don't want to do for whatever reasons. I remember a time when I was a child, my mom tried to take me to one, and right at the stoplight when we were in the car, I jumped out and walked home. So never really wanted to do that. But I do recognize the ability for that sort of environment where you can express yourself and have somebody to listen to you, to be healing and therapeutic. So I think maybe this avenue could be that way. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not very interesting, so I probably won't really get a following or whatever if I do upload this. But I think I'll see what develops out of this. I'm sort of into a lot of things. I'm doing a lot of self-help things at the moment, and maybe I can share some of that. Maybe I can try to compile things that I've learned over the years, and maybe share some things that might help other people, or to document this for myself because of my poor memory, so that I'll be able to remember it in the future. So I didn't really have this planned out, so I don't really know what I'm going to say. The idea is just to be here. I haven't decided, sort of my New Year's resolution actually, I didn't know if I was going to have a resolution. I'm not really one to make resolutions. I sort of do things when I want. But sort of last night, or yesterday, I sort of decided, I think my resolution is going to be a diary. So I have decided to try to at least anyway write in a diary every day. And it's not just going to be a diary for my thoughts, but also maybe a journal, a dream recollection log, and maybe other practice work that I would like to do to record in this. I can show you it's unlined paper. just a sketchbook. And I have it in landscape format because, according to a very good book that I read called Handwriting Can Change Your Life by Vimala Rogers, writing on unlined paper in landscape orientation says that you don't need to be confined to boundaries or rules, and you're more spontaneous. And that's something that I've really found confining in my life, is trying to follow the rules to a T. And I've sort of come to realize that laws and rules don't always match up with ethics, morality, and what's right. And so I'm trying to break free of the law abider in me. Not that I'm going to go out and be an anarchist and do some things that are against the law, but I don't necessarily have to be confined to them, or at least be confined to the limitations that I place within my own mind. So yeah, so I got my diary, and I'm also planning, and I've already started today, to do this book called A Course in Miracles. This is the 3rd edition combined volume. And the workbook in there has a lesson for each day of the year. So I'm starting on lesson 1. And I've been, for the past few weeks, I've been reading the text, or rather listening to it through the audiobook, and it's brilliantly mind-blowing. It's just really, really amazing stuff. So I'm going to try to incorporate some of that ideology and new ways of thinking into my life while doing lessons. If it's what my dad says as a shortcut to realization, then that's something that I could definitely use. One good quote that the Course said that I remember was that the Course is not a journey, but rather it is an awakening. So I think that's very interesting, because one of the things that I do is I meditate twice a day in Vipassana, and it's repeatedly referred to as a journey, a spiritual journey, a journey that you're on one step by step, until you reach the final goal of enlightenment, supposedly. That's what some people say the final goal is. It could be anything. I mean, it could be just getting back to God, or something like that. But kind of like the idea that it's an awakening. So rather, you don't need to go anywhere, or you really don't need to do something special. You just need to come to the full realization, inside and out, of who you really are, who you are as a son of God, as a child of something much greater than we normally see in our everyday lives. And that's a different way of looking at it. Ultimately, it could just be language, but I think language matters, at least in the way you perceive things. And so keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm doing other things too. This other really great book that I read a year ago, but I was in school at the time, and I didn't have a chance to study it and really put the practices to use, is this book called Quantum Speed Reading by Yumiko Tobitani, and it's not really a speed reading book. It's basically using your right brain to ingest the images and basically you flip through a book, yes, and you start seeing colors, and the colors represent your level of understanding, and you get to pick up the book that way. Now, it's probably not something you'd be doing for every book, but certain books I think would have an advantage. Plus, there are a lot of other benefits attributed with being able to read through your right brain. And the right brain is very fast. It can see whole pictures, and it can see images. And if you do this correctly, it opens up intuitive powers and a greater connection to nature and your higher self and plants and animals, etc. And I think that's very useful. And that's definitely attracts me, and I think it's sort of the way that I want to take my life in a more of a cohesive togetherness, sort of becoming one, more in tune with my surroundings and what's going on, feeling the energy patterns around me, being calm and receptive. And my right brain is totally not developed at all. I don't really have any abilities, but I think it's repressed. My left brain, I think, has taken over, and sort of, I think deep down, naturally, I'm more of a right brain person, but somehow through my education, upbringing, various circumstances, I repressed it, and so I'm trying to learn how to re-engage it. So yeah, I'll see how that goes. It's not easy. I've been at it for a few weeks and haven't seen anything, but supposedly this kind of thing takes months, so I need patience and perseverance. So patience I'm usually not strong in, but it's a new year and I'm going to try. Yeah, so that's mainly what I'm working on. Because of that, I'm sort of reluctant to look for a job. My money is not so good, and I may have to find another job shortly. But at the moment, this is what I want to do. I feel like this is my path to self-improvement. So yeah, between the meditation and the right brain training, the Course in Miracles lessons, the alphabet training, the writing my diary, and the daily meditation, I think I have a good chance to slowly pull myself up from whatever black hole I've sunk into and become a better person. Not to mention other aspirations I have for my life. So that sort of sums up where I'm at. I think I may want to use some of these to vent some of my feelings and frustrations and maybe successes or aha moments or other things. But I think for today, I've written most of what I wanted out in my diary, and this is sort of just a short introduction of where I want to go, at least in the short term, maybe half year to the next year. We'll see how long my resolve lasts, but yeah, until then I wish you all the best, and we'll talk some other time.